Hello everyone, this is Imperialist. You might have known me from my YouTube channel, but today I'm going to teach you the menu mechanics of Risk. Let's get started. First, we're going to go from easy to complex learning. First, we're going to be learning the announcements tool. First, you're going to want to click on this megaphone button, which will show this GUI right here. First, you're going to have 300 characters as a limit for your messages. So for example, if I want to say I'm Napoleon and I just took over Germany, I can say the French army has a massive victory and begins the full conquest and annexation of Germany. And on the top, this will show up. Imperialism, the French army has a massive victory and begins the full conquest and annexation of Germany. And if you're also staff or an experienced participant, you can also accept logs, which will show right here with a button that has a check mark and an X right next to here. If it's already been approved, then there will be nothing here. The next tool I would like to show you is the Super Announcements tool. If you click on this microphone here, first you're going to want to make a save for this announcement, which you can use to whenever you want to use it. So for example, if I want to just make it, Germany declares Poland. And then you can have a custom background image if you like. And for the title, I can put September 1st, 1939, Germany declares on Poland. And for the main text, I can put more description on what the title means or what the event is entailing. So, the German army begins its advancements over the territories of Poland. And then once you post this, something like this will show up with your description and your title and your custom image. If you want to actually save your announcement, you press upload to database and this will show up right here. And if you're also staff, you can check logs in order to check who made an announcement on which specific time. This can help determine who's abusing the super announcement logs or other determinations. The next tool I would like to show you is the change RP name. First, you want to click on this crown right here on the left. You want to go to set roleplay name. This will be the roleplay name for my username right here. For example, if I want to roleplay a country, I can do this. Kingdom of Botswana. There you go, I'm the Kingdom of Botswana. And another neat feature that this game also has is that you can put a set title name, which will show above your actual roleplay name. So for example, I can name myself King Mark III, and it will show right here on the top, King Mark III. And what's also neat, if you have a saved country, you can also set your title flag and it will show on the left and right side of your title name. The next command I'd like to show you is the view commands tool. This tool will actually help with if you're at a private server or you want to host a specific map. So if you want to choose a specific map, let's say for example, I want to choose 1991. I click on this and then in the chat, it will say, warning, loading a pre-painted map will reset the entire world. To confirm this action, say load 1991 AD. And what you want to do is do exactly that. Load 1991 AD. And then you will see the map change to your desired map. And now I can officially play as Germany and take Austria whenever I want. Another good tool that the developers have made for this game is a save manager. So this will show all your saves that you have made for your private servers. This is where you also can initiate a map reset vote if you don't like the area that you're playing in and see if other players also want to reset the map. The next tool I would like to show you is the warp interface tool. This you can click on anywhere in the map where you want to go, and this will usually show once you spawn into a new server. And for example, if I want to go to North America, I click here and now I'm in North America. With this warp interface, you can also go to the UN building from where you actually spawned at. So you click here, you go to the UN building, and the UN building is mostly used for peace treaties or any other events that happen here. What an interesting painting. The next tool I'd like to show you is the Regen Textbox tool. So if you didn't know this actually, you can actually do this by saying Regen in chat, and this will actually pop up on your screen. First, we have legacy, we have text part. First, I would like to show you legacy. And once you click that legacy regen, you would see this sample text box here. And once you click on it, you get a color palette, a text sample, color text, outline color, a size, font, and height. You can put whatever you want. For example, if I want to put German African Army, and I can put dash 1,000 men. And I can do this by changing the size. So for example, 0.2. And for the font, I can change the font to whatever I want. But for now, I'm going to change it to Source Sans Bold. And I can make it aesthetically pleasing by, for example, pretending that this is the German army, putting this as black, and then putting this as gray. And now I have a little friend here that can come with me whenever I want. The text part tool is a little bit tricky. You get a unit name, a leader name, a unit bonus, and a unit size. So if you want, you can also paste your flag in here and it will display on top of here. But we're not going to do that right now. But if you do, this is an option as well. I can also put German African Army. And for the leader name, you can put whatever you want. So I want to make up some random German man. Guten Tag, the third. There you go. Now we have Guten Tag the third and German African Army. If I want to put a bonus, we can. But usually units wouldn't have bonus if you're playing, like, let's say for example any world, like, modern army, unless it's like a specific unit, like let's say the Marines or SEAL Team 6, you know. Then I can put the unit size here, which is also 1000. And just like last time with the Legacy, you can change the color, the outline color, the size, font, and height. The next tool I'd like to show you is the tutorial guidebook. Here you get the introduction, rules, guidelines, common terms, ranks and promotions, and how to paint. A more simplified version of this will be made on a video on this channel specifically. And this will usually show up once you play Risk, once you join a new server and you press cool, let me play the game now, and then the warp interface will show up on your screen. The next tool I'd like to show you is the staff ratings tool. So if there's a staff in your server that you like to show appreciation to or absolutely hate on them, so you would find their username here and you can rate their stars 1 out of 5 and the description on why you rated such stars. A screenshot will be shown on how the actual system looks right here. The next tool I'd like to show you is the View Maps tool. This is a map of outlines and infographics that can help you determine what actual borders there are. So this can help with painting, actually setting out outlines with your path for your country, or other things that can be helpful with information like the labels or puppets as well, or even subjects. So we're gonna load in 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐤 here. So if I want to figure out the exact borders, and if I want to, you know what, outline my border here for Germany, I can just click on here 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐤 borders, and now there's borders everywhere, which also shows the provinces. It's quite helpful when you're trying to figure out which part of the country you want to annex. And there will be certain conflicts here that will actually help you on what's actually going on in the region. This will actually help outline certain parts of regions in the world that are actually in conflicts right now as of 2022, along with infographics telling you a very detailed explanation on certain regions as well. And the legend here, which is often shown sometimes in map lists, will help show the specific colors and what they mean. And reservations also show, like, you know, indigenous populations, territorial disputes as well, possible, like, you know, anything that shows here. So for example, if I want to go to 865, it shows the independent rules. It will show here in the Atlantic, subdivisions, and it will also show the tribes. The next tool I'd like to go over with you is the settings menu tool. First, we have the terrain overlay tool. This helps expose how much of the terrain you actually want shown in your game. So right now the default is 45, but if I want to make it 100, this is how 100 looks like. You get the point for this one. The next tool here is the developer overlay. It's really only used for developers and like determining on what they need to do. I don't even know myself, but this is really only developer niche stuff. The next tool is the brightness tool. This will actually determine how dark you want your game, with the minimum being 50. And the max being 100, it can look like the sun is radiating upon your skin. The next tool is the player's visibility. So for example, you see me here, and if I want to turn it down, I'm slightly invisible, and this will help actually determine, like, you know, if anyone's out of your way, you want to see something better, you know, but I usually like to have it at 100. Next tool we have is the time tool. So this will actually help you with the immersion in the skybox we have up here. So if I want to make it, let's say for example day, we can make it around like 1 p.m. Let's make it 1 p.m. here. And then we have what looks like to be not even 1 p.m. And there's actually a reason why for this, which I will get to in a bit. The next tool I'd like to show you is the fog tool. So this will actually help with the immersion in your game as well as the time one. So if you want to make it, like, you know, foggy, you can put it to as high as you want. You can make it seem like it's covering the sky at this point, or you can just make it as 0, or just, you know, make it as dramatic as you want. Along with this, we also have the fog brightness tool. This will help actually determine how bright you want the fog. So if I want it dark, you know, look like looking like a forest if I wanted to, you know. But that will just help you with the immersion of your game. Next, we have the super announcement audio. So this usually happens when you have a super announcement like the tool I showed earlier. When a player has a super announcement, an announcement will actually play, and an audio as well. The next tool I'd like to show you is the river tooltip. This will actually show which river you actually want shown here. Like for example, this is the Vistula or the Danube. If I want to turn it off, then I don't have it anymore. Next is the atmosphere. As I was saying, as for this 1300 right here, I can go and change the atmosphere in the skybox. And look, now it's space. I can change it again. It's alpine. If I want to change it again, it's the desert. You can change it to however you want. You can make it as immersive as you want. Look how beautiful this is. Next tool I'd like to show you is the ocean color tool and the river color tool. So the ocean color is just usually how you have right here. So first you click on this color right here, and then you press Q on whatever you want, and you press submit, or you can return settings. And once you press submit, this color will be the color for your ocean here. And this goes the same for the river tool. So if you want to make a different color, you can. If I want to make it red, I can. The next tool is the personal color, and this is usually the color for your AFK tool. So if you want to go AFK, this is the black color you have right here. Or let's say if I want to make it, let's make it the color of Spain here, okay? I submit it, I close out of this, and now I'm the color of Spain. But you know what? I like to usually have my colors at black. The next tool I'd like to show you is the toggle rivers tool. So as self-explanatory, if you want to toggle the rivers, you don't have the rivers anymore, or you can turn it back on and you have the rivers now. The next one is the country tooltip. So the tooltip is when you hover over a country that someone has an interface for, it will show like this: Germany, Imperialism. If I want to turn it off, I don't have to see it anymore. Next is the side menu type. So if you want to make it look like a panel, a flywheel, which I don't really usually like having, I can just make it a panel. The next tool is the typing sounds tool. So this will usually happen when an announcement comes in. So if you don't like it, if you think it's annoying, you can turn it off. If you want to turn off arrow themes, this will be the theme right here. If I want to turn it off, I can. I don't really want to have it. The next tools I'd like to show you is the anti-lag tools. If you're lagging, you can't handle it anymore, these will actually help you with your lag. If you want to delete the force, you can. If I want to delete the paths, I can. And if I want to delete the text box, I can. But when you do that, you will have to rejoin the game once you put them back on. The next tool I'd like to show you is the debug stats tool. This will help show you if you have lag. If you see here on the bottom left, I have my ping, the server age, and different other data sets I can look forward to. And the next tool is its join UI tool. So if you don't want to see that guidebook anymore, and if you just want to immediately just jump into the game, you can. You can just change it to the teleporter, which is the warp, and that's pretty much it for the system. The next tool I'd like to show you is the country interface tool. If I want to make a country, and let's say for example I want to be Cuba, I go to new country right here, and I'll do Republic of Cuba, and there you go. It has made a set flag for me. But if you just make a custom country, it will be the UN flag here instead of any other country you want to pick. So, and if I want to assign it so everyone can have the country tooltip, and when they hover over my country, I do click to assign color, I press Q on this here, submit, and then now if I click out of this, I have Republic of Cuba here, and now I could officially roleplay as the Republic of Cuba. And then once I open back the country interface, I can also go over here and go to current government, change my ideology. All you have to do is click edit here, and let's go for example communism. So I change to communism. The ruling faction, Communist Party. The current head of state, we'll do Fidel Castro. And if it ever tags like this, you can also do different ways to bypass the system so you can have a perfect realistic name. There we go. We can have Fidel Castro now. Next thing you want to do is go to tab here where it says tab diplomacy, and go to lore and preview image. Here you can post your lore, which I'll show you how it looks like right now. So if you want to click on your country, you click here, and it will show on the right here your lore and your ideology, will show communism, Communist Party, and Fidel Castro. You can also open the interface tool this way by going to the interface right here. Here you can get your lore approved by an admin or a staff, which I click by approve lore here. And this will say lore has been approved by Imperialism, or a staff member that has approved your lore. And here you could put notable past events. So if I want to put here, for example, Cuban Missile Crisis, and now I have Cuban Missile Crisis, and I can put different events here as well, just besides this one. If I want to put the politics and the economy and the culture here, I can put here Spanish culture, great economy, and communist government. Any recent developments you want to make, it doesn't have to be historical, it can be alternate too. So if I want to say, like, for example, we're making education free for everyone, I can just put 1954, education becomes free. And these would be the recent developments that I would have here now. If I want to make a new topic for my lore, I go to new element, attribute, and then set title, which will be the title of what I want to do. So for example, let's say current wars, and I can put here current wars, United States, Florida annexation, and this will pop up right here, current wars, United States, Florida annexation. And here you can assign a preview image as well. So this is your preview image right over here. You can have an image ID for your preview image, and then the image will show up once you click your country interface here, as well as showing the lore here on the right side of your interface. The next tool is the legislator tool. This is still in development, which is why I'm not going to get into much detail on this. But below legislator, we have colors. This can actually determine like what territories you have that are subjects or anything. So for example, let's say that Cuba wants to invade, Haiti. If I want to make an occupation color, I can make it, let's say a little bit lighter. Let's say they took over Haiti. And you can see from this that the country tooltip does not hover over Haiti over here. So what I want to do is click on here, open interface, go to colors, new color, press Q on the color here, and then submit Haiti Protectorate. And now I have the Haitian Protectorate here, as well as the Cuba flag to determine and show that I own it. And the next tool is the settings tool here in the country's interface. So if you say, you know what, I'm tired, I want to go to bed, I want to leave the server, it's best to unclaim the country. So if I want to unclaim it, you can. If you want to unclaim the country, yes. And then it will show right here, Republic of Cuba unclaimed. And if I want to reclaim it, I go to open country interface here, and I go right here, Republic of Cuba claim. If I want to transfer the country to a different person, you can click on transfer country and put their username right here. And remember, it's cap sensitive. If I want to delete the country, say, no, I'm tired of this, I don't want to play this country no more, I go to delete country, and you sure you want to delete the country? I click yes, and now the Republic of Cuba is gone. If you want to save your country interface, you can. If you go to country saves right here, select action, save country, you select, and you select the country that you made on the interface here, and then save. And in order to load that country interface, you go to select action again, load save, and we can go to our selective country here. These are countries I've made before in the past, and I go to America, load, and I've successfully loaded America. Or if I want to delete a save that I don't want anymore, I go to delete save, select, delete, and delete America. If you also want to check the auto logs for who's been claiming and stealing countries or who's been deleting and claiming, you can go to auto logs here. You can see that I've created the country America, created a Republic of Cuba, unclaimed it, claimed, and deleted Republic of Cuba. The next tool is the help tool, which is currently in work in progress, which is why I'm making this video for the country interface and such more. But other than that, you're all good to go. The only tools I didn't show in this video is the leave return to lobby tool, the open treaties tool, and the request staff tool. The request staff tool and the open treaties are still broken and still need to be fixed. But the return to lobby is you click yes or no, you can return to the lobby and risk. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there's anything I haven't showcased in this video, please let me know down below. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel and have a great day.